Well, hello YouTube, it's me, Fortmaster, and welcome back to another Bizabizow reaction. And this is the second half of her redesigning of the Funko FNAF Sister Location plushies, fixing more of Funko's worst FNAF plushie line, Sister Location. So yeah, as I said in the previous video of this little series, I'm very sorry I couldn't react to both of them in the same video. I didn't have time at the time, though given the fact that the final recording of that one episode was almost an hour long, I think it was still a good decision on my part. But yeah, again, in that video, she did, again, of course, in every single one of these videos, did just absolutely masterful work with the redesigns. It's been a little bit since I last watched that video, so give me a second here. I was trying to remember which ones she did, and it was a fun. So it was Circus Baby, the Biddy Babs with, I think it was Electro Bab, Funtime Freddy, Bonnet, and then Yendo, which I think I remember talking a lot about, potentially using corduroy as the fabric of it to give it the more wiry and cabley look. So that would leave Ballora, the Mini Renas, Funtime Foxy. I'd imagine she'd also be doing Lolbit since that's basically a simple recolor. Then there's Funtime Chica. And then the Cupcakes. Oh, and Ennard, give him the thumbnail. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a jam-packed episode, and I once again very much look forward to, seeing what, one, I want to see how badly, Funko actually did on the actual, real life, and then I also want to see, as always, how well Biz actually does at, fixing them. So yeah, we should probably get this thing started then, shouldn't we? So yeah, of course, as always, original videos linked in the description if you haven't seen it yet for some reason. Corner video lead to my Let's Play of the day. And if you like this video or any other video that I make, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because almost 3/4 of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'd very much like that to change, because at this point, it's almost the end of the year and I want to see how close I get to 7,000 subscribers. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get this thing started then, shall we?
I'm back.
Woo!
See, told you it wouldn't take as long this time. Last time, we made brand new plushies for 7 of Sister Location's characters. So let's tackle the rest, shall we?
I know it's the very beginning of the video, and I just only realized something. This darkening of the previous video, is that just an effect she's doing to show that, oh, it's the previous video? Or is this actually something involved with, the actual quality of the video itself? Because I have something weirdly similar that happens. I don't know whether it's just because of the way I record the videos and stuff like that, but, if I pull up one of my past videos, specifically one with, the spinning green pinwheel background that I use, I'll pull up the at the time previous, Biz video I did a reaction to here. And if I'm remembering correctly, in the actual video here, you'll see that the background has become considerably bluer than it is in the current video I'm in. And I have no idea why that is specifically. I mean, again, doesn't really matter in the slightest to the actual video. It's just something I wanted to point out. It just, weird video making weirdness going on here.
Shall we? If you haven't seen that first part, you probably should. It's right here. Okay, thanks. Before we jump directly into things, though, here's some stuff I gotta mention.
Of course.
First thing, last time, a lot of you asked why my baby plush had brown hair instead of the bright orange that she's typically depicted with. That's because I based it on her original Sister Location design, which did have hair with more of a brown tint to it, which I personally prefer to this orange. It's a bit overbearing in my opinion. However, I do think the shade I chose was a little bit too brown, so...
Yeah, it's exactly what I said in that previous video. This is very much more like beta baby design, as opposed to, original Sister Location, where it's much more of a more, quote-unquote, natural redhead color, as opposed to the bright orangey red that the Help Wanted model uses for some reason.
There, I fixed it. More accurate.
There we go.
Second thing, last time I gave you guys 2 options to quote-unquote vote on for how Bon Bon would be attached to my Funtime Freddy here, and I got a ton of responses. As I said, this was never meant to be an actual vote, but just from what I saw overall, it seems pretty split down the middle. That was just from eyeballing it though, so just to get a slightly better idea, I took the latest 100 responses I could find in the comments at the time of writing this, of course, to see if there was a majority. And there was. Out of that 100, 40 said 1 and 60 said 2. Clean numbers there, surprisingly. This is a small sample size, of course, so it may not be an entirely accurate way to decide, but I like 2 better anyway. I'm just...
Honestly, again, like, and something I only realized while I was, watching the video back while I was editing it, and, like, honestly, I could see either way. While I do like this one just for the stylistic consistency with, the previous plushies in the quote-unquote series, this one, just because of how Bon Bon and Funtime Freddy are, it is playfully different, that I could see it working. The only thing that I don't like is the fact that this one arm, even though, Bon Bon is still removable, you don't have the same colored end of the arm that, the other arm does. So even if you remove Bon Bon, the end of Freddy's hand is just a white nub as opposed to, being pink, so he doesn't match on both sides.
Just gonna declare that one the winner and move on. I even saw a couple of people offer up the idea that both shoulders could have magnets, so you could have Bon Bon on one and Bonnet on the other if you wanted. And I really like that idea. So cute.
Aww.
And one last thing. Hey, I went to PAX at the beginning of September. Well, a cardboard approximation of myself did while I sat firmly planted in Missouri. Sorry to everyone I tricked on Twitter. I thought it was obvious I was joking, but I guess it wasn't. Psycho YouTuber lies to her fan. Mini-Me got to meet Freddy and Dako. That was cool. And Cardboard Ishiniki as well. Our little clones had a great time bonding, I'm sure. If you want to see the footage of their wacky adventures while the most enthusiastic FNAF fan ever talks about it, you can watch this video right here. I wish I could speak Japanese and understand him. His excitement is absolutely infectious. I'm planning on actually going in person next year, though, like, for real this time, so hey, look out for that. Bizabizow hits Seattle will happen one day, I promise. Alright, that's about it. Let's get into the plushie making, starting with the hardest one. Wow, okay, right into the trenches, huh?
I mean, actually, no, because I would say, it's not that, it wouldn't be that difficult, just put, Blora's head and stuff like that, but at the same time, like, and like, just use, like, Baby's body, and essentially, but at the same time, Blora has a very different, body shape than Baby, so using the exact same plushie body probably wouldn't work, given that, Blora is very much more, lack of a better term, human-shaped. So, I mean, the idea... maybe you do something similar to the endos, where you make the chest bigger than the bottom, just to, like... I don't know, maybe? We'll see what Biz does.
Pissing by yourself, handsome?
What?
Blora is another humanoid animatronic, which means Funko had an absolute conniption. I mean, I get why non-animal plushies are harder to make. With that whole uncanny valley thing, humanoid designs are just a lot easier to mess up. It's just so weird, though, how Funko goes about it. Like, why are they all square? They're allowed to have round heads.
Yeah, human heads are, I mean, there is some squareness, but there is a lot of rounded shapes going on here.
Often have those. Well, except for that one guy, but this seems to be the Baby base again with altered proportions. She's a bit lankier with a smaller head, which at the very least is accurate to their proportional differences, but it doesn't look good. She kind of reminds me of when you pick up a cat vertically and get to see the actual length of their body, and it's like, whoa, what a strange alien look for this creature. I'm used to seeing them like this all the time. When that happens. Her ballerina skirt is cute, gotta give her that. And hey, it's thinner material this time. Better than the weird plush one Baby got.
I mean, but I have to wonder, so how are you going to translate? Are you going to do, like, the weird baubles that she has coming out of her dress, too? Or, because I, like, well, that would be a nice little bit of detail. I can't imagine it being, like, very finicky to actually make in real life.
This is the only good thing I have to say about this thing, though. It's... Man, why does she look like that? Funnily enough, there does exist an image of a Funko prototype Ballora plush. And, you know, aside from the weird teeth, this kind of looks better. The head is rounder and longer, the body shape is more accurate. I'm assuming the reason they changed her was to fit in with the others more, but
probably
a shame that we ended up
well.
with the slightly worse one at the end, I guess. Well, would have been a shame either way.
I mean, honestly, like, this could have been completely, completely fine to go with. Just replace the teeth, replace these teeth with these teeth. It would have been fine.
It's not like this one was spectacular or anything. So how do we fix Funko's design here? Once more, I'll just show it and explain.
Into the breach!
Here's what I did. For the body, I used a similar shape to the puppet in Nightmare Own, with a thinner waist and wider chest, just with Ballora's shape this time. Scott Cawthorne definitely knew what he was doing with this one, am I right? This series is not for kids. The skirt is pretty much the same as our baby's, just with pink and white instead of the red. Now, I know some of you were probably saying, hey Ty, you forgot the little yellow balls on there, but I actually left those out intentionally. I tried them on to see what they would look like, and they had a bit too much detail density on that lower half for my liking. I just think the plush looks better without.
Yeah, and again, I mean, yeah, I can definitely see that. And also, what I said before was just, like, again, like, what Biz said before at the beginning of this whole series was that she was going at these from, like, trying to design them as, you know, realistically as possible, as if they were going to be, you know, manufactured. And that little bit there, like, I mean, granted, these look like they're just little baubles, like, just sewed onto the skirt itself instead of, like, some on, like, sticks. Like, I can see that adding just a level of unneeded unnecessary complexity. That's the word I'm looking for. That would just unnecessarily, like, raise production costs and manufacturing time.
About them. But hey, look, there it is on screen, if you prefer it. There you go. Her head is similar in shape to Baby's, but stretched out vertically to match her model. Her ears are similar to Bidybab's, but also stretched to resemble her ear shape, although exaggerated a bit on the plush version. And hey, she's even got her cute little earrings. For her hair, there's this thin plush shape laid over the top of her head, which is meant to be this blue part on her model. The bun sticking out from this piece on the back was made to look a bit like a pillow or a pin cushion with this hard cap piece squished into the top like this. I don't know the proper terminology for it. I just thought it looked cute and it fits her aesthetic.
Honestly, again, it does work. I forgot which video I said it in, but yeah, that's one of those the main issues when you're designing plushes like this, because the whole thing is that, yeah, like, the only thing that really gives the plushies any shape or structure is the way the fabric is cut and the stuffing put inside them. So you're kind of limited that way. So if you're able to do something like this to give, like, the approximation of the bun, like, again, it just works.
And to top everything off, she's got her little pearls on her head and chest. I drew these with hard plastic beads in mind, but I don't know how well those typically stay on plush toys. I think they'd be quite prone to being accidentally ripped off, so might make more sense as felt balls, I don't know. All that together forms an accurate and appealing little Ballora plush toy. Spin her as much as you want. She'll never get sick. Because she's a ballerina. She's used to spinning. First of the videos done.
Just looking at that, like, that is just, like, honestly, I think that is, like, one of the biggest upgrades in this entire series. Just, like, wow, the difference there. Yes,
once more, no
mini-arenas.
Funko plushie for this one. Similar situation to Bidybab. Although I think Minorina is a slight bit more relevant with a dedicated night to them in Sister Location and their very own Fazbear Fright story. What did you get, Bidybab? A fucking security breach arcade cabinet where you look like this? This looks like a...
I'm sorry, security breach. I didn't know. What? That's... some weird clown, like centurion soldiers going on there. That's weird.
This looks like a pretty weird design for a plushie, but we've done both the puppet and Ballora at this point, and this little critter is essentially a combination of those two. Shouldn't be that much of a challenge.
Really spindly.
Here's what I got. I used a similar body to Ballora's, but with slightly tweaked proportions, like their smaller chest here. Their head, as expected, is very similar to our puppets, just with some tweaks to match the model. Why do they look like the puppet, by the way? Has anyone figured that out?
No, I don't think anybody ever
there was some sort of
has.
connection between the two based on that, but I never got any confirmation. I guess that's par for the course with this franchise and its mysteries, though. The eyes and mouth shape are what we see in-game, but altered to be cuter. Although instead of the completely empty default look they have, I opted to use the pupilled version that we see in their jump scare and whatnot, much like their mystery mini.
Again, it does work. I mean, like even as the puppet, like the puppet one, I mean, granted, like the puppet's eyes are technically empty, but with the shine to them, it kind of makes them feel a little fuller. Like it has that whole thing of like, you know, a cute animal where their eyes are just completely, you know, like pupil, and then like they look to the side and you can see that little bit of like white sclera or whatever it's called.
Without doesn't look as cute to me, but once again, there it is on screen if you like that version better. Everything else is as expected. White head, tan body, pink skirt, white bathing suit, sloppy steaks, white couch, and that's Minorina. Unlike Ballora, it actually will puke if you spin it too much, so stop that.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome back to Undertale. Now,
Fun time.
I never connected those. I never realized that the Funtime Foxy voice does sound like Markiplier. Oh no.
Foxy, the fruitiest design to come out of a Republican's brain since... You know, I can't think of another example. I guess this is just it. This animatronic does indeed have a Funko, but at this point, is
not
that
a
even
very
a good
good
thing?
one, yeah.
It's not as bad as Funtime Freddy by any means, but we have some more of that good old cheap printed fabric splashed all over the thing. Again. This one is an even stranger decision, though, because as mentioned last time, they already have a similar character's plush for us to compare it against directly. FNAF 2's Funtime Foxy, a plush with no printed fabric whatsoever. Why they didn't just start with that one and add features until they got Sister Location's Funtime Foxy instead of just making one from the ground up with an entirely different manufacturing strategy.
Okay, the little horn sound effect, like I love, that's just perfect.
Just making one from the ground up with an entirely different manufacturing strategy is beyond me, but even if they did, I'd still be here fixing them anyway, so who cares, right? Anyway, time to do my thing now. Here's Funtime Foxy.
Ooh.
Although they're yet another Foxy variant, they've got a different head and snout shape going on, which I tried my best to capture here.
With the sharpy
However,
little
aside
teeth.
from that, this is pretty much just another Foxy with added details and color changes. We have their cheeks, lips, freckles, bow, speaker, in the same style as our Freddy, of course, and these little toothsies, which we haven't used on a closed mouth since OG Foxy. I thought it made sense to include here. Funtime Foxy's teeth are pretty important to their look, actually. But hey, I know you noticed something on that back view earlier, you rapscallion.
I didn't. I'm sorry. It passed by too quickly, and I was more focused on, you know, Funtime Foxy's bug-eyed stare. Just look at him. He's so adorable. Not a single thought in his noggin.
You. They've got a tail. Unlike Funko's huge tail, though, mine is just a small little thing, curved up like so. I think it fits into our plush proportional style better than the huge one would. Having the short, stubby limbs but a long-ass tail on this plushie just doesn't make any sense to me. We
Okay.
shrink things here on Bizabizow.com. Don't get close to me. I will do it. Oh yeah, like Funtime Freddy, I made their beta design as well, with lighter purpley shades and no bow tie. And that's it. Funtime Foxy, ready for their show.
Yeah, a much better design.
Hey, I'm not doing anything at the moment. Might as well go see it, right?
I honestly thought she was gonna put something in, like some sort of like YouTube poop or animation somebody else did, but no. Oh. Hi.
Oh my god! It's long bed!
Where is that picture from? What?
As you may know, this character technically debuted in FNAF World as one of those random recolor NPCs, but a small Easter egg and a custom night slot later, they're now a solidified part of the mainline FNAF canon.
God, you know what that reminds me of? I remember... God, I hope I can find it again, but I remember somebody actually make like a fun little AU where all the different versions of Lolbit were actually the same one. Where it was like, Lolbit originated from, FNAF World, but then they went into the flip side and gained the ability to traverse around different dimensions. It was really funny.
Just like regular Funtime Foxy though, they do have a Funko. A Target exclusive.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Target shoppers. You can brag. I wouldn't blame you.
I mean, again, I honestly, like, Target is not that, not that impressive, really. I mean, if all you have to look up is that, it tried coming up here in Canada, bought out sellers, and ended up failing within a few months, and now there's just, hundreds of closed, former Target locations all across the country. It wasn't an exclusive. I don't know where I got that from. Please don't. Okay.
This is just a recolor of Funtime Foxy, so not much to say here besides, bad. Even worse than the Funtime Foxy, I'd say, although that might just be my aversion to this color palette speaking.
Yeah, orange and purple, yeah. Those are, okay, so you know how complementary colors are a thing? What's the opposite of that?
Really not a fan of this orange and purple like this. Sorry, Lolbit fans. Bet you're feeling a little bit lol bitter right now. We have a better Funtime Foxy than Funko does though, so that means we can make a mighty fine Lolbit out of it. Here's that. The colors have been changed. The eyeballs are now black with those spooky white pupils, and no eyebrows. Lolbit doesn't have those, if you never noticed. Since Lolbit is just a head in Sister Location, this doesn't actually give us a full body to use as reference here. So the tail and bow tie colors and whatnot, much like the rest of Lolbit's merch, are taken from the FNAF World design. Yes, this game has finally wormed its way into a design of mine. I mean, I could have used the help wanted, but they couldn't even be asked to remove the eyebrows completely. 0 out of 10. Do better. So yeah, a quick one for sure. Let's...
Okay, wait, now... Okay, wait, I only now just noticed when you compare it to the improved flush, why are, like, the real Lolbit's eyes shaped like that? Like the fact that the pupils are in the lower section of the eye and not in the center makes them look like they're planning something. I'm not the only one that thinks that, right?
Move on.
I'm ready for my close-up.
Oh god, here we go.
Yes, Funtime Chica is actually from Pizzeria Simulator, but I figured Future Ty could benefit from at least one less character on that roster.
I mean, you say that, but at the same time, she was talked about in, the lead up to Sister Location. It's the old memory of the lore coming in. But there was the whole thing on like the Scott Games there was the whole thing on the Scott Games website where there was the whole there was the schedule for like what characters were in and out, which ones were having maintenance, and Funtime Chica was out like the entire time or something like that.
She's a Funtime, so this is a good place for her anyway. Every game needs a Chica, right?
Yeah.
Another character without a Funko plush, which makes sense as there's only one Pizzeria Simulator wave. However, there does exist a good stuff prototype of her. Doesn't change anything, I just thought that was interesting.
What was that? Why is the lipstick only on, like, the top? It honestly looks like this Funtime Chica is, like, jutting her chin out, where it's like, Like, I'm why does it look like that?
That was interesting. As this design is extremely similar in shape to Toy Chica, using that one as a base is a perfect way to go about this one. So, let's do that. Here she is. Very straightforward. All it took was creating the new head and beak shape and then adding all the other details to her. The notable ones being the breastplate thing, similar to Baby and Biddy Bab, the speaker, slightly obscured again due to the lack of room, and the 3 tufts of hair, done in a similar style to our withered Chicas. Oh, and despite being somewhat difficult to see on most of her renders, Funtime Chica does have nostrils. I was writing the script when I noticed that and had to go back and add them. But this ain't all. She's got a cupcake, of course, magnetized to her arm as expected. For this little cretin, I made a few tweaks to our original cupcake and gave it 3 little teeth. Don't know why this thing would ever need sharp teeth, but very much like William to make that design decision.
I mean, you look at all the Funtimes actually have sharp teeth. Like even, famously Ballora, she has very sharp teeth and a lot of them. It's just sort of like the design language of this batch of animatronics, I guess you could call them.
Skulls are to Dr. Wily as sharp teeth are to Mr. Afton. Aside from those things, though, really not much else to say about this one. Pretty easy.
Yeah, it works.
Today is all about me.
Oh, no.
Me.
But we...
It's self-replicating. Quick, get the flamethrower. Actually, wait, does that save on manufacturing costs if they just make themselves?
do have the cupcake itself now. And, this is gonna be kind of a sad one. Aside from the skin cupcakes from Special Delivery, which, let's be honest, even if I do get to that game, there's no way in hell I'm giving all these their own individual plushes separate from their respective chicas. This will be our very last cupcake to give a plush.
Wait, does that Bizabizow... Oh, I just realized that... Wait, so she's going to be doing the Special Delivery skins as well? Oh, okay.
So, as much joy that these little things have put in our hearts, I think they deserve a little bit of a send-off. Here you go, folks. Our final cupcake. Funtime cupcake. So, I took the OG cupcakes and changed its colors, and made the eyes closer together, and added the mouth with teeth, and added the little lines.
Biz, you're falling behind here. I can actually see the cupcake and what you're talking about. There's still more space for other videos you can add in.
To the base part. Wait. What do you mean there's a Glamrock cupcake now?
I'm sorry. That's news to me. When did that happen? Oh, wait, it's 10. Was that for the 10-year anniversary? What?
And that brings us to our final Sister Location animatronic. The body-snatching, fighter jet attacking, spaghetti man himself.
Fighter jet attack? Fighter jet attacking? I'm sorry, what is that in reference to?
No, I wasn't joking about the fighter jet thing. That's an actual video someone made. Does anyone remember that? Unfortunate that the fan favorite from this game also happens to be the least plushieable, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can just tell by looking at Funkos here.
Ugh.
Dude, that's a Who from Whoville. Or like...
Oh god, it is. I was wondering why in the thumbnail, entered who I assumed was entered had like a muzzle, like almost like a bear or something like that. It does look like a Who. Oh my god.
That one Sonic cosplay that I hate
Ugh.
looking at. Why'd I put that on screen. The shrimp body strikes again, this time with this line pattern thing meant to resemble the wire body, I guess. Strange way to simplify them too. They just drew these few wire shapes on the torso and a couple on each hand and called it a day. They did use a ridgy textured fabric though, which is kind of neat, at least better than nothing. Doesn't make the weird knobby limbs look any less bad though.
I mean, that's very similar to the whole thing I suggested before about, using the corduroy fabric on, Yendo. Like, it can work, just not in this case because that's... Ugh.
However, the face is the real doozy here. On Ennard's mask in game, you can see these defined raised cheeks that then kind of smoothly ramp down to be flush with the rest of the surface. And you can tell that Funko tried to do the same thing here on the plush, but it just ended up as this long plush sausage shape on his face, which gives it more of a hamster kind of look. A bit Jake the Dog-esque even. Quite silly. The most egregious mistake, though, were the eyebrows. For some reason, they gave him two, when you can clearly see that his model only has one. Oh wait, none? No, just one, yeah. No, wait, it's two, though. Yeah, sorry, it's clearly two. But I think it might actually be one, though.
Okay, so, Biz, you have one way of fixing this. And you make it so that on this Ennard plushie, and only this Ennard plushie, the eyebrows are magnetic, so you can have how many eyebrows you want on them. It would be perfect. You have to do this. If you don't, I will be very angry.
Oh, and they forgot that this whole white part is just a mask and not his actual face. This shouldn't be white back here.
Yeah.
But whatever, everyone knows that one's Garbo. Let's make our own Ennard plush, eh? So here he is.
Oh god, night and day. Night and day. I take back what I said about the Ballora one. This is the best improvement.
Way better, I hope. Getting his mask/face right was definitely my main priority here. Prepper shape with ears and all. And to make sure we avoided the chipmunk face, I just gave him two separated round cheeks on either side of his mouth instead of one continuous shape. Said mouth has been cutified like the others, by the way. The mask does look like a proper mask this time as well. It's rounded on the front but flat on the back, connected to the smaller plush half meant to look like the back of his endoskeleton head. As is customary with these types of plush design elements though, this would likely require some plastic or cardboard on the inside to keep this rigid form.
Yeah.
On a lot of Ennard merch, they tend to depict his right eye as just a mess of wires. I'm assuming because most of his renders make it look like this is the case. However, that's actually not correct. Ennard's right eye is just a drooped eyelid, a smaller portion of eyeball is showing. You can barely see it on these renders, but it's a lot easier to see on his maskless jump scare here. Oh, and since Ennard can't for the life of him decide how many eyebrows he has, I made both versions.
Aww.
I'll personally stick with this one, though. I like it.
Curse you. Curse you. You took the coward's way out. You could have had them be stuck on by Velcro so you could take them off at will, but no. You had to take the coward's way out. How dare you?
Get better. The body is about the same shape as our Ballora, just with longer arms to reflect Ennard's freakish ones. For his chest, I did a similar thing to Yendo here, by giving him a lighter web-like portion, meant to represent this part of his design. Probably the most iconic part of Ennard's look, however, is how much of a messy man he is. I kept the lines and seams and whatnot on his body symmetrical, but added that bit of messiness in with these little threads sticking out everywhere.
Yeah,
no
it
extra
works.
body eyeballs, though. I don't think there's any way to make those look cute. And to top...
Well, I mean, you have, admittedly, the eyeballs that you design are very cute. It could be done. You just haven't tried.
it all off, he's got his little party hat, complete with cute little puffball. By the way, these little party hats that I see all the time in birthday parties and media and cartoons and whatnot, never encountered them. I have never been to a birthday party with these things, not once.
Yeah, actually thinking about it. Yeah, they're always known as, party hats and birthday hats and stuff like that. I don't think I ever have either. Like, the closest I would be was, maybe the few times we've had, those party poppers. We've had at like birthdays a couple of times, and they sometimes have like those folded up little like paper crowns that you put on. But yeah, I don't think I think. Wait, no, maybe once I've gone to a party that actually had the party hats, and it was like one of those parties where like, oh, I was invited over to like another kid's birthday party during like elementary school. But other than that, like, I don't think I've ever gone to a birthday party before with like party hats. Huh. How did they become such a thing if nobody ever uses them?
Either I've been lied to my entire life, or I have been ripped off. I want my party hat. And that is our final Sister Location plushie.
God, again, literal night and day. That is the best upgrade I have seen in this entire series so far. Wow.
We did it. Every single FNAF Sister Location animatronic now has a plushie concept to their name, courtesy of your friendly neighborhood bimbo type Bizabizow. Now, this is normally where I'd say like,
I would not classify you as a bimbo like in the slightest.
whoa, this was so much fun, whoa, which, I mean, is true still, but I'm running out of ways to say it. I don't need to repeat myself for the billionth time, do I?
I mean, what you could literally just take like an audio and video clip from a previous video and just put it into the new one.
Oh, well, I guess I sort of just did, didn't I? Now, the total number of FNAF animatronics in our FNAF plushie collection is 63. And if you include the 2 puppets I made for fun, 65. And if you include all the bonus recolors as well, 72.
Jeez, we're getting
And
up there.
if you include the movie ones, 78. My hands hurt. As always, let me know what you think of these guys, and tell me what one is your favorite, too. Next time, as long as I don't do another bonus episode in between, we'll be doing Pizzeria Simulator. And I'm just going to tell you right off the bat, this is absolutely going to be more than one part. There are a lot of animatronics in this one.
Oh god, how is Trash and the Gang gonna work out? Now I'm wondering.
I am never going to run out of plushies to make, am I?
No.
Oh god. I need to get my mind off of this. Hold on. Oh, him? No, he's good. I modded him. I just use him for YouTube now.
What's going on, guys? Stalker back again. Hope you are fantastic today. And today we are playing a brand new FNAF game called Ty.
What?
Shut off the video, Ty.
What?
Shut it off right now.
What?
Right now,
What?
shut it.
Oh god, oh no. Oh, that's a render. Okay, I was wondering where that picture came from. Okay. God, that is weird. This is Rolf, forgetting, oh god, brain fart. You know, the angry video game nerd. This is him in the FNAF universe. God, yeah, another wonderful video from Bizabizow, and god, that's the second last video in the series so far. This one came out about a year ago, and I know the next video is relatively newer. It only came out several weeks ago at the time of me recording. Man, it feels like I only started doing reactions to these, like a week ago or something? And, like, the fact I'm already almost through, like, the videos that are out, like, it's still, like, again, I'm so happy that these videos have been doing well and that people like me doing reactions to them. And honestly, again, like, I'd love to look at more of Biz's stuff, because, like, the stuff she puts out on her channel is, like, quite the eclectic, like, variety pack, I guess. I can't think of another word to use at the moment. So yeah, after I finish the series as it stands at the moment, I'd very much like some suggestions on more stuff to look at from her, like, to see what people want, because, like, I know they're, like, as I said before, I know there are people who have actually made, like, physical versions of the plushies she's drawn and designed. And if anybody can point me towards a couple of good videos on that, Like, I'd love to see them maybe do reactions to them and see what people think of those. And also just give me suggestions for other stuff I can react to on Biz's channel. Because as I said, there's a lot of very different stuff and I don't know where to begin with it. But yeah, that's definitely going to be it for now. So yeah, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.